Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Queensland State Netball Centre for round 2 of the HART Sapphire series. We've got the Tigers, the Carina Tigers playing tonight, and the Thunder. The Tigers coming from the Metro and
East Brisbane area.
And I would like to introduce at this point my co-commentator Sim Nalatu. Welcome, Sim, and thank you for providing that little bit of extra information. And Thunder are from up on the sunny coast.
Yeah, that's correct.
So what do you think of the Sapphire series so far? What are your thoughts?
Look, I think it's a great a competition, obviously a new lot competition this year. Some teams are similar in terms of where they are representing. So the Carina Tigers Leagues Club have been in the competition for a while now. The University of Sunshine Coast Thunder is a new club put together. So I think some of the players are familiar, but certainly it's great to see some of them lining up in different clubs this year. And
we've got a touch of, if you like, the Suncorp Supernet, and we've got some imports. We've got some players that haven't played in Queensland. For instance, Ali Bird for the USC Thunder come over from New Zealand. In fact, I saw her play on the weekend when she was playing for the All-Stars in the Cadbury's series, which involved the Silver Ferns, the New Zealand men's, the All-Stars and the Fiji Pearls.
Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic to see international players here as part of our league, as well as the Suncorp Super Netball players that are returning to their clubs.
So starting for the Carina Leagues Club, Amy Somerville at goal shooter, Alexa Baker at goal attack, Katie Walker wing attack, centre Jackie Russell, wing defence Claire Haig, Lily Gribble goal defence, Madison Cooley goal keep, with substitutes Maddie Grant, Alana Schuster and Shelley Rosenoff. And coaching Amanda tonight, the Carina Tigers, is Amanda Kelly.
We've got goal shooter Ali Bird, goal attack Serafina Wolf, wing attack Josie Hungerford, centre Chloe Litherland, wing defence Ashley Uni, goal defence Serafina's must be playing double positions, and goalkeeper Annika Lee Jones. Substitutions Sienna Allen, Lily Mae Catling, Nicole Gunther, Abby Latu Miafau and Jessie Warlord, coached by Gary Passion. We'll check for you to see who the actual goal defender is, or actually a goal attack. The goal attack is Cara Cohen. Serafina Wolf is back at goal defender.
I know Serafina's pretty talented, but she would have had her work cut out trying to cover two positions tonight.
Absolutely.
So centre pass starts with the Thunder in possession. Some good defence work forcing that angle pass, but Ali Bird well up to that task.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting in this game because we've got an experienced forward line here with the Thunder up against quite a young circle defending end. Both players, Maddie Cooley and Lily Gribble, represented Queensland in underage this year. But again, great to see young talent out on court tonight.
And what great experience to come up against, ANZ player and Ali Bird and Cara Conan from Suncorp Supernet. What a great measure.
Absolutely.
And our umpires tonight on camera is Laura Noel Clough, and at the other end, Nicole Pratt. And reserved tonight is Di Davies.
Gone goal for goal in these first few minutes. So some Sunshine Coast juniors there in Chloe Litherland and Josephine Hungerford.
Great front positioning by the goalkeeper and forced that error to get the possession turned over. So well done. Early signs are looking good.
And good for the Tigers. So we've got an experienced front line here for the Tigers compared to their back line. Both Alexi Baker and Amy Somerville featured for the Queensland Fusion this year. And we've got the experienced Katie Walker running in there at wing attack.
Yes, and Katie Walker is very special in Queensland netball circles because not only is she captain of the Tigers, but she's also probably the most experienced. I will call her that. I won't call her that OA word. but she's an amazing athlete, and for that she has had the privilege of having the player of the series named after her. You know, it's really marvellous. The Legassic Jewellers have come up with this wonderful sapphire, which is the Katie Walker MVP. So how special.
No.
I wonder if she could earn it herself.
Well, who knows? She'd definitely be in the league, and there's no reason why she couldn't.
Good to see again some contesting by the goalkeeper coming out, leaving the risk of the shooter under the post, but I love seeing that courage being on display.
Yeah, definitely. I think that is one of Madison Cooley's, good traits, is that she will have a go. She'll come out and have a go for the ball. Up against an experienced campaigner, obviously tonight, in Ellie Bird, who just arrived in the country yesterday, I hear. So she's doing quite well to start for the Thunder tonight.
It's not that far away, New Zealand.
True. True. But having not played with her before,
yes.
Yeah, the Thunder are doing quite well.
If she's been signed again for the Tactics, she's been, I think this will be about her 4th year playing for the Tactics, so she's a great asset for them, and she actually did very well in the All-Stars game.
Excellent. Great shot there by Lexi Baker.
Good experience for Serafina Wolf to have to come up against an older player, and she's an up-and-coming youngster from Queensland.
Yeah, definitely.
In your team that you coached this year, Sim?
Yeah, she was one of the co-captains for the Queensland 19 and under, and done a great job to get herself back on court after coming back from an ACL injury.
Some good defence work being applied by Tigers, just forcing the error, and before that error, some hesitation in where they were going to release the pass. I know that with the SSN players having played right up to about a week or so ago, I'm sure the combinations will take a little bit of time to settle in.
Yeah, definitely. Great touch there by Anna-Claire Jones, and she's rewarded with the turnover.
So Annalika is a Lightning player. She has come over from the West Coast.
Yeah.
So she's an import as such, not from outside of Australia, but on the other side of the island.
Yes, that's right. Not a Queensland junior, but great to see her out in the Sapphire series for the first time. Footwork called there on Claire Haig, another experienced campaigner, been playing in the league or at this level for many years now, in a new club this year with the Tigers. But again, great to see her out on court.
So just having a little bit of difficulty connecting, and perhaps just getting that height of the ball perfected will take a bit of time for the Thunder to get it into. When a player comes in new and they're a holding player, it takes a bit of time to just work out how much height to put on the ball, when to release the ball.
Yeah.
So we'll keep an eye on that and see if that sort of develops throughout this game.
Definitely, and from the work that Madison Cooley's being able to do at the front to confuse the space, I think that's adding to the confusion. But like you said, I think that'll just get stronger as the game gets on, given they've not played with Ellie before. On the other hand, you've got the Tigers' Jackie Russell, who's back rejoining her old club, so that connection obviously you would expect would be stronger.
So a breaking fault against Thunder gives the ball over to Tigers. They are sort of errors in some respects. They're called coach killers because they can at times really be frustrating, and it's what we call a soft turnover.
Absolutely.
And that's part of the role of the players have got to make those judgments around the timing of the whistle. The umpire, you would hope, are consistent with that. Players have got to make those adjustments.
Absolutely.
Some good pressure there from the centre from Thunder.
Yeah, Chloe Littleland, a great defensive centre, plays wing defence centre usually, so it's great to see her get that turnover for her team because they really need it. They're down by 3 at the moment. I think these Tigers defenders are doing quite well, both, like we said, Queensland underage juniors, but missing the experience tonight of Chanel Gomez and Leah Middleton, who would have just added some experience to that back line. But in saying that, the Tigers are doing a great job.
And some nice patience shown by Thunder to to work it to circle and then get it into Karakonen.
It's almost half of the quarter gone and there's only 1 goal in it, which is what we would have expected, I think, Lee. I think we expected this to be a tight game, so hopefully it continues. We'd like to see them go neck to neck. I don't think their coaches would.
No, that's always something the spectators enjoy, but yes, certainly you'll know, sitting on the sideline when it's goal for goal, it's pretty hair-raising.
Absolutely.
Nice change of direction or dodge applied to get really clean ball from the centre pass and nicely to Karakonen.
To Karakonen, yes. So both Cara and Josie have played together at underage Queensland level. So Josie on at the wing attack, Josie Hungerford. So it was nice to see that connection there.
Well rebounded.
Amy Somerville has such a high shot. Again, Josie Hungerford out on the centre pass.
Lovely use of that change of direction. It really excites me when I see shooters using variety.
Definitely, and Ellie Bird coming out.
And very effectively.
Definitely.
Just good use of the circle edge by the Tigers.
Serafina Wolf caught out of play. See Lexi Baker go for the shot. Fortunately misses, but Serafina is able to get the rebound this time.
It's not quite got the flow on yet.
No.
The Thunder probably will be hoping will build throughout the game, but that's credit to the Tigers for slowing them down.
Yeah, and the great defensive pressure that they're applying. Does Ellie Bird play any other position, or is she predominantly a goal shooter?
I've only ever seen her as goal shooter.
Yeah.
And yeah, she certainly is a great target with her height, and is growing her movement capability too, which, you know, certainly in the higher the level the player is playing in, you've got to have more strings to your bow.
Yeah, definitely.
A good turnover in possession for Tigers. Let's see if they can take it down court and benefit from it.
Goal. So the Tigers coming off a loss after last week, so they'll be looking to get the win tonight, whereas the Thunder were successful against the Bull Sharks, so they'll be looking for 2 from 2. So I think yeah, it's going to be a great game. We're 8-all at the moment. See Lexi go to shot. Wow.
Well rebounded by the Thunder.
Yeah. Just looking up to see how tall Annika Lear-Jones is. You don't know off the top of your head. What's your guess?
Who's that?
Annika Lear-Jones, the goalkeeper for Thunder tonight. Don't think we have those stats. I'm going to find out though. Tigers are able to turn the ball over again. Their young defenders are doing a really good job on the much more experienced attack line. I think equally the Tigers don't have the flow that they would necessarily want. Great ball there into Lexi. But unfortunately she's not been able to take it to goal. There's been a bit of back and forward for this last few passages, Lee. We've been 8-all for a while now.
Yeah, and just not got the speed of release that we'll be looking forward.
Yeah.
That's probably signalling they're a little tentative at this stage. But good front positioning by Karakonen. I think that's becoming a little bit of her trademark.
Yeah, definitely.
See how the defence counters that as the game progresses. And sitting on the bench for Thunder is pretty strong goal shooting option.
Yeah, they're blessed for choice tonight in the goaling circle. They've got Abby Latu-Mirfair on the bench tonight for them. So we'll be looking forward to seeing when she is able to come into the game. Great turnover there by Lily Gribble. We still just don't quite have that that flow that we would expect from the the players in this team.
Nice backspace or goal line positioning rather, and used effectively, but not quite nailing those shots as yet.
No. Oh. Connection's still not quite there, but I think we'll get there. And Katie Walker's going to try and spark a little bit of urgency in this Tigers front line. Great shot there by Amy Somerville. Amy Somerville was the captain of the Queensland Fusion this year.
That's right.
And was able to take the court for the Queensland Firebirds as well. So
she's got a wealth of experience. And Lexi Baker too is the training partner for Queensland Firebirds. So a little bit of a buffer, 2-goal buffer. Probably a little sort of against the run of play, because it seemed that Thunder were getting a bit more of the possession.
And I think it's credit to this Tiger backline that's been able to turn the ball over. They were able to get some great turnovers in these last few minutes, but equally Anna Jones has come out and been able to win the ball back. Unlucky contest there by Jackie Russell. Called out of play.
A little bit of a height advantage shown to be a benefit there by Ali Bird.
No, so we've only got a minute to go in this first quarter. Only 1 goal difference.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't really say the team has hit their straps.
Agreed.
Would sort of imagine after the first quarter they'll have a few things their coaches will have given them to take back out on court. Haven't had any subs either at this point, and in this competition there can be rolling subs, so possibly see that later in the game. The other addition to the competition is that each team can have 1 timeout and a half, so a bit like shades of SSN
and the rolling subs from the ANL. So the Tigers have another opportunity here at goal with 20 seconds to go. And Akelia Jones caught out of play. And Amy Somerville was able to sink the goal to take them 2 points ahead with the centre pass. So they'll be hoping to score from this centre pass.
We'll be interested to see if players and teams sort of work the clock to their favour. We're seeing that in the SSN, particularly when points are on offer. So the end of first quarter, and Tigers have snuck out to a 3-goal lead, 13-10 over Thunder.
Yes. However, it looks like time's still going, even though the hooter went, and it looks like time was blown. Oh, there we go.
No, that was the correct time.
That was the correct time.
So 14-10 to Tigers were able to score in that last dying seconds. So probably a reasonable start for the Tigers, and Thunder, I'm sure, will come back in force in the second quarter.
So tonight's game's the second of round 2. On the weekend we saw the Northern Rays take on the QUT Wildcats. The Wildcats were successful in that game. Would have been a great game to watch purely because we would have seen both my sisters on the court for the one team.
Oh, that would have been wonderful. And great for the Northern Rays to, they're going to have a lot of challenges around this competition, but for them to have a team that represents players from the northern part of Queensland and to get a measure of the standard can only be good for them and for the sport.
Fantastic. Yeah, definitely. And they were lucky to have Kimberly Jenner, who was a North Queensland product, play for them on the weekend. So I think, again, having her play with them will also give them an indication of the standard that's required, but also to show that a player from that area can make it, because she's obviously one of the Firebirds' feature defenders. Yes,
and so in this competition, each team is allowed 1 or 2 Suncorp Supernet players, and that's marvellous for the competition.
Yeah.
So as they head back on court, Tigers have a 4-goal lead, 14-10. At this stage, we're not sure if there are any positional changes.
Doesn't seem so at the moment. The Tigers were able to really pull out that four goals in those last 2 minutes, really. And Somerville.
A nice long shot from Amy Somerville.
See what the Thunder can do now in response. Oh, actually we lie. Abby Laitumir fouls on the court for the Thunder in goal attack. Abby was also playing over in New Zealand early in the year, Lee, is that right?
Yes, she played for the Magic franchise and has been signed again for the 2020 season.
Great. And we also saw Abby out on the court for the Firebirds as well this year. So she's played in a number of teams, which is great to see.
I think it's the sort of symptom of professional sport these days. Players can play in all different parts of the world. So Tigers use their circle edge well, and that triangle of sorts really worked nicely, finding Amy Somerville free on the goal line.
Definitely.
Just like to see Thunder get a bit more length and speed up on their attacking game.
Yes. That was a better entry into the circle, and Kara's able to finish for them.
So good marking from Serafina Wolf, just keeping the shooter high. Just needed to perhaps move the feet a little gently around.
Yeah, get around the body a little bit more to avoid the contact call. But Amy Somerville looks like she's found her range and is shooting at quite good range and sinking them, which is a great thing for the Tigers. I think we see a little bit more dynamic play with Abby coming onto the court.
Yes, it's made a difference. There's a lot more movement in that circle. So a different style of attacking circle for the defence to adjust to. That being able to mix that up is a real asset for the Thunder.
Yeah, definitely. They're lucky that they have that. However, in saying that, I think that connection to Bird's only going to get stronger as she's in the country for a little bit longer. But great luxury to have.
Good rebound from Amy Somerville. So again, some good defence from the Tigers, just holding Thunder up.
Making them have to take the ball quite high.
Good looking long and cleared some of that mess. Oh, nicely done.
Great take there by Maddie Cooley.
Good to see that sticking close on that receiving player paid dividends, because sometimes there's, the risk is the defence just drops off a bit early.
Definitely, and looks for trying to set up for the next phase. But again, that is the strength of Mads Cooley, is that she'll come out and have a go. We saw it in the first quarter, so hopefully she can do it a bit more.
Just a little bit of good defence from Tigers holding up. The Thunder However, good vision from the centre into Cara Conan.
Great shot by Cara.
Puts it away nicely.
So we're still at 4, the difference. Like you said before, I think the Tigers are doing a much better job to try to get onto that circle edge.
And probably just noticing the goalkeeper from Thunder getting caught a little bit on the back of Amy Somerville. Perhaps a little bit of inexperience by her. But and nice shot from Amy.
Nice shot. Looks like we've lost the bib there, Josie Hungerford. What do you think the Thunder need to do?
Well, I'd quite like to see that quicker ball release from their first and second phase of the centre pass, the first 2 passes. Just holding it a bit long. And, front position again paid dividends by Lucy Gribble.
Yes, I'm loving these 2 young defenders. They're willing to have a go and they're being rewarded with the ball. Especially given that they probably are the 2 most inexperienced on the court for the Tigers tonight, but it's showing that they've got plenty of talent and then they're willing to have that go. Amy Somerville would be by far the dominant shooter for the Tigers at the moment. So it'll be interesting to see if the Thunder latch on to that and if they do anything differently tactically to try and stop her or to make Baker have to shoot.
Just making use of the circle edge to get Amy Somerville on in line with the ball, but an opportunity now for Thunder to close that gap. How quickly has it snuck out to 6 goals?
Thunder then called for a stepping footwork call.
So I think the mid-court from Tigers are really providing a lot of good structure to get the ball into the circle. Like to see a little more pressure from the Thunder on the wing attack and centre.
Yes, definitely 2 very experienced players there in Katie Walker and Jackie Russell, and both played together for many years, so that's definitely showing tonight.
Possibly a substitution from Thunder. There's a player standing on the side looking like she's
ready
be
to
coming
come on. Yes, you're right. So we've got Nicole Gunther on the court for the Thunder. It's great to see Nick back on court, having done her ACL last year at underage 17s. So my understanding is that she's on restricted quarters, but she's on the court again, which is great.
It is. Unfortunately, the ACL injury is all too familiar, so that's where the Australian knee program is so important, isn't it? That from a young age, young players are learning to land correctly and safely. And the other thing around the knee program that is not just about injury prevention, it's about efficiency of movement. So if players are landing well, safely, they're also landing more efficiently. And that's in a game where speed counts, that's really important.
Yeah, definitely. And I think what people underestimate is when you do the ACL, it's so much time in recovery and prep. It's not just the knee healing, it's all the other additional stuff you need to do.
And the confidence that a player needs to rebuild after that injury.
Definitely. So like we said, it's great to see Nick back on court. We'll see what she can do because her side now is down by 7. Shot there by Cara Cohen.
It's a really, the patience, I think, too, from Tigers means they're not panicked if they can't get the ball in straight away. They're prepared to work it around.
To keep moving it, definitely. And their ball speed seems to have picked up a little bit.
Yes.
Their movement not as much, but their ball speed.
And that was a good example of some really sharp movement from Karakonen and connections from Abby.
We see that Chloe Litherland has come on to wing attack, so was at centre, but has actually moved into the wing attack position, so she must have snuck on.
So there's a few changes afoot, and it's so far showing a little bit of potential.
I think the heartening thing for the Thunder is that they've had plenty of opportunities. They've just not been able to score from them. So I think they would take that as a positive. But I'm sure their coach, Gary Passion, would like them to make the most of some of these opportunities sooner rather than later. And that's a good, footwork call there by Kara, unfortunately.
But good to see Thunder get back onto defence. As soon as there's a turnover, you really want to see that in young players.
Definitely. Just helps slow the game down just that little bit, so their defenders at the back have an opportunity to contest the ball. Just not quite in rebound position then by Wolf. Somerville was able to take it and shoot it the second time.
So a good response from Tigers, just to show that they hadn't taken their foot off the pedal.
No.
However, Thunder have got the ball back.
Ball and Katie Walker.
Good defence.
Trying to put her hand up for her own medal. No, she's quite a... she's a great player, great experience, great team player, and there you go.
Oh, she heard you.
She did hear me.
Probably would need to let it go a bit earlier there. I think Amy Somerville wasn't in too bad a position. So that's just watching now. Good defence work from Tigers. Forcing that angled ball back down to see if that gap can close up even more. And Kara Conan does the deed.
So down. Got it back to 5 now, the Thunder. They'll be really looking to score from this centre pass.
And, you know, the simple things done well, a really good example of no stress, easy ball in, and again, my favourite, the dodge by the shooter on the goal line.
Yep. And patience of the feed, yep.
And once again, we're seeing good circle edge positioning from Tigers. That would be an area I think Gary Passion would want his defensive players to tighten up. Good quick release.
And it looks like we've got a new wing defender on here for the Tigers. Schuster, Alana, is it Alana Schuster? Yes. On at wing defence for the Tigers, she replaces Claire Haig.
So what's Alana's netball background?
Not sure, actually.
Has she been through the age group system?
Not in underage state teams. However, fantastic to see her on the court here for the Tigers.
Oh, lovely long clearing pass. Good to see that mix up. Oh, just not quite the connections at the end. Let's see how Tigers make use of this ball in the possession.
Yep, Thunder have been able to get it back to 4 with 2 minutes to go. Had an opportunity there, but now it's the Tigers' turn to see what they can do.
Nice long range sort of copybook shot from Amy, and this backline throw in. Got good length, just the connections from there didn't quite fire. I love seeing a goal defence or wing defence look down court in their attacking game.
Definitely. Great shot there by Abby.
And this quarter has really gone by very quickly.
It has.
Probably even scores at the moment, so while Tigers haven't closed the gap, they haven't certainly allowed it to creep out. It's probably a little easy for Tigers to get that in. I'd quite like to see Serafina Wolf and our goalkeeper just doing a bit more work around in front, confusing that space.
Yeah, I would agree. I think they've chosen to sit back, and it's not been that effective. So I would like them also to see them sit in front and see what how Amy and Lexi respond to that.
Great vision there, looking long and getting the ball in to Kara.
30 seconds to go here. We'll see what the Tigers do. I think their experience will hold up the ball and work it around.
Yes, I think they're using the clock to their advantage. It can be a bit risky.
Can be, but I think with the experience in this side, they're willing to back themselves in this play. Oh.
Ooh. They're going to have to move it.
It rings out, yes.
So a few more seconds remaining, but I don't think it's quite going to be enough time.
No.
So the end of the first half, the Tigers retain their lead, up by 1 in this quarter to lead 27-23 to the Thunder. So probably just getting a little bit of rhythm into both teams' game, a bit more flow, a bit more speed through court. Any other thoughts from you, Sim?
No, definitely. I think the Thunder's substitutions during that quarter did prove beneficial in parts. They were able to pull it back, but probably not able to consolidate all of the opportunities that they had. We see a 13-all quarter, which is probably reflective.
Yes, my maths wasn't so good. It was 14-10 at the first quarter. So, yeah, nothing much in it, actually. And as we well know, a lead of even up to 8 or 9 goals doesn't mean anything at this stage of a game.
No, definitely not. So it'll be interesting to see what the coaches' instructions are and how these two teams come back out in the next half.
We look like we're seeing some positional changes happening on the Tigers bench. But sometimes that can be a bit of a trick. You think that certain players are coming on in certain positions, but may not happen. So a bit of attention being given to the circle defence of the Tigers. So in this game, Gary Passion is the head coach. Do we know who is it? Christine Vogue.
So Christine Vogue, yeah, she's there tonight. Looks like in the assistant role. So they're again very lucky to have two experienced coaches. I think they'd looks like a lot of the attention's been given to the attack line at the moment.
So what would you be wanting to see from that attack end for the Thunder?
Look, I agree with you. I think if they can get a bit more ball speed and a bit more of that dynamic movement, when they've done it, they've been able to beat the Tigers.
I really like the mobility too of the Thunder circle, so perhaps explore that a bit more.
Definitely.
They're both good movers, and whether Ellie Bird is able to take the court again to see, what she brings back onto the court, having to adjust, I guess, from having played in New Zealand in a slightly different style and pace.
I think I'd like to see the Thunder defenders change up what they're doing a little bit. I think, like we said during that quarter, they tended to sit back a bit and allow the Tigers to take that front space. So I think if they're more than capable, Serafina Wolf is more than capable of contesting and getting into that front and confusing, and it's got great elevation, and I think she can win ball, but it's hard when she's sitting back.
So this is a midweek game, which is probably a little different for the Sapphire Series, HART Sapphire Series, because most of the games are weekend games. But over the weekend just gone, there was an amazing volleyball, World Series volleyball tournament being played. So the Sapphire Series was shifted to be during the week.
Yeah, fantastic for our amazing centre here to be able to host events like that.
I know, and I was, really enjoyed. I had a little bit of a sneak preview at the volleyball training. I think as sports people, you love seeing what other codes are doing and what you can learn from them. So let's hope there'll be more different codes using the venue. We certainly have our community courts being used by volleyball. It's a multi-purpose venue, and getting good use of it is what we're looking for.
Great. So we see that with the turnover conversions that the Tigers have been much more efficient, 71 to 60% compared to the Thunder. Shooting percentage, though, is really interesting. The Thunder, when they get the ball, they've shown that they're able to shoot 100% of the ball that they get. The Tigers, on the other hand, are shooting at 66%. What else stands out there for you, Lee?
Well, I think for me, because netball is really the uniqueness is the centre pass, so that centre pass conversion, not too dissimilar. I would sort of think in ANC or SSN level, they'd be up in the 80%. So perhaps not too bad, but again, the Tigers are actually showing the dominance in that component of the game too.
Yes.
So it'll be a bit of work ahead for the Thunder to tidy up their centre pass, but probably get a bit more ball to give their accurate shooters.
Yeah, definitely.
Get to their accurate shooters.
So doesn't appear to be any changes in the Thunder front line. However, the Tigers look like they've made some changes, with Katie Walker moving into the centre and Claire Haig coming back onto the wing defence.
Good rebound by Meafo. Closes the gap to 3.
We also see Alana Schuster moved into the wing attack.
It saw a really interesting court setting where the shooter came out of the circle nicely to keep the ball in a straight line to the passer. What I'd like to have seen is the goal attack. So Amy Somerville really, Lexi really driving hard to the post with all that room. So we'll keep an eye out for that. It's could be something that they utilise.
Definitely. And I think that is one of Amy Somerville's strengths, is that she's not really a holding shooter. She does like to be on the move. So if Lexi Baker's able to identify that and cut to that post, I think it might help open the Tigers' front line up a bit. Yeah.
Oh, that was a nice release onto the goal line. Good rebound from Amy Meafo. She's
able to rebound again and score. So they were at 100% before this quarter, but I think we put the marker on them. But to their credit, they've been able to rebound the shots that they missed.
So here we see again the goal shooter coming out along the goal line. Or it was the goal attack this time. So nice to see that interchange where Amy Somerville's playing higher and Lexi is just reversed it again. So lots of movement happening. Some good defence work by the Thunder to force that ball back.
Tigers and Claire Haig's able to pick up those scraps. So actually we see Serafina Wolf's been replaced by Lily Mae Catling in that wing, in that goal defence. Great shot again by Amy Somerville. So this is a place where we said the Thunder really did need to improve in their centre pass conversions. See what they do here. I think as a coach you would try and emphasise the importance to your players that if you get half the ball, don't you, through a centre pass, you're guaranteed it. So the more that you can put it to goal, the more likely you're able to stay in the game.
And it's a nice easy passage of play for Tigers where the goalkeeper for Thunder was caught out hunting, but kind of like to see that and having a go at trying different things. Just the experience of Abby in there, although the ball didn't connect, but seeing her hold that front position and it's something that young players can sometimes get caught on the back of shooters.
Yes.
Oh, well done, goalkeeper.
Yeah, we've had two great turnovers there. One firstly by Lily Gribble, and the second one there by Madison Cooley.
So contact called on goal defence, which gives the ball to Tigers relatively easily.
Yes. I think Anna Lee-Jones read that one. She probably didn't commit to it as much to come out and have a go.
So good hands over pressure but turned around and seeing the benefits of a team getting back onto defence.
The Tigers have been able to pull it away a little bit in this opening part of the third quarter, which is similar to what they did in the last quarter. So it'll be interesting to see if the Thunder can stop this flow.
Better circleage positioning from Thunder. And
great rebound there by Cara Cohen.
And rewarded with some good shooting. Some good movement by the attacking circle.
That was really smart.
I think there was a quick throw-in.
Throw-in by Amy Somerville.
Yeah, so very quick thinking from Somerville.
To catch the defenders unaware.
Yes. And that's the good thing now. I mean, it's been quite some time since teams had to wait for the play to be said, but that was certainly a rationale for change, is get this game faster.
Yeah, keep it on the move.
So we'll just have a look and see how this ball is, not quite went as far back as we thought.
So I think Alana Schuster's provided a real spark in attack. I think in the first half we saw the experience of both Jackie Russell and Katie Walker quite controlled and deliberate in what they were doing, whereas Alana's come on and put a little bit of more movement and a different style into this attacking end of the Tigers, which is benefiting them at the moment.
So she's come from Samoa. I wonder how long she's been in Australia for.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
And one of the things we'd be interested to know is the Pacific Games, which are across a number of sports being held in Samoa about the same time as World Cup. So whether she would be a player that perhaps is going to be involved in the Samoan team.
We know that one of the Sapphire Series players, Lenora Missa, who plays for the QUT Wildcats, will be representing Samoa at the World Cup in a few weeks' time. So it's great, like we said before, to have international players, both and coming over to play in the Sapphire Series, like Ellie Bird, or Queensland juniors like Lenora, who are going on to represent their countries or their parent as well. Still haven't quite found that connection, have they, Thunder Down? Just that transverse line. The shooters get it, they're able to score, like we said before, but we're just not being able to get it to them.
It's one of the things that certainly for me signals a strong attacking play is when you get good length from the centre pass to the first player, then to the second player, quick and good length. That usually sets the shooter up to get the ball in, unstressed or less stressed.
Definitely.
It's good front marking, and
great.
Both defences did a good job. Forced that over ball and got rewarded.
I think these two young defenders for Tigers are having a cracking game tonight. Given they are replacing the more experienced players in Leah Middleton and Chanel Gomez, but you wouldn't know it.
No, they're certainly earning their stripes, literally.
Absolutely, yes. We see that the Thunder's brought on a new goalkeeper in Sienna Allen. Sienna's a South Australian junior who's up here as a training partner for the Suncoast Lightning.
So the Sunshine Coast have got some players from different parts of Australia as well, obviously, in their sort of wider squad.
Yes.
So South Australian and Western
Australian in the team and a South Australian as a training partner, yes. So it looks like that there's been a change up in the mid-court for the Tigers. Jackie Russell back on at centre and Katie Walker's moved to the wing attack position.
So it was nice positioning from Karakonen and good placement of the ball.
It looks like Karakonen's coming off and being replaced by Ellie Bird. So we didn't see any rolling studs in the first quarter. However, we're seeing them now in full speed and full swing now, Lee.
Yes, well, Ellie Bird was on with Karakonen, so the change-up with her goal attack will be interesting and nice placement for that pass to Ellie Bird.
Great rebound there by Lily Gribble. There's that long connection you were talking about.
Good give and go from Katie Walker.
And
finding good positioning on circle edge.
And a great pop back there by Amy Somerville. So they've got it out to 7 now, the Tigers. We'll see if the Thunder, they came back in the last little bit of the, oh, there we go. Oh, unfortunately called for footwork.
Yes. And a loss of a bib at the same time. But again, you know, I love seeing goalkeepers that are prepared to venture out of the circle to have a go at the ball. It puts doubt into the passers' minds as well as it sort of can be unsettling for the shooters.
Definitely. And the Thunder probably need a little bit of a lift at this moment, so it can also be a great way to lift your team. When you see your keeper coming out for a flying intercept, it can spark a little bit more in the team.
So quite a nice bit of a wall, if you like, or zone, for want of a better word, placed by Thunder to just really force a little bit of indecision, but we're able to, Tigers found that gap quite well.
Definitely.
So we see both goal attack and wing attack coming out for that pass, and probably doesn't create that, you know, nice length that I was talking about early.
No.
However, you know, possession's the important bit, but unfortunately in this setting, it turned it over again.
Yes, no, definitely. And I think with the in that particular play, we had them both over at the same time.
Yes.
Which again is hard then for that next connection. It's a long way for the shooter to have to come and leave no one at home. But the Thunder's been able to get the ball back, so we'll see.
And we're seeing a bit of a zone taking place here by Tigers. Just filling that space. Not strictly zoning, but, you know, making it look busy and hard to find the gaps. And lovely positioning for that straight line. Gosh, when I was watching Ellie Bird last week in New Zealand, she was really, you know, getting it in easily. I think probably that travel and change of environment would take a little time for her.
Yeah, definitely. Great triangle there by the Tigers, again showing the experience of their centre court. Yes, I think we can forgive Ellie Bird given she got off the plane last night or yesterday, we believe.
And this would be probably 9 o'clock at night in New Zealand, so a little late.
She's doing quite well, and she's not trained with the team either, I believe, so I think she's done quite well given all of those things. And the scary thing for the oppositions, not just the Tigers but for others, is that she's only going to get better with this team. So hoping that the Thunder would be hoping, yes, that Ellie's been able to bring it back to 7.
And as clock's ticking down, just really important for Thunder to try and stem the flow of goals.
Definitely.
So looking for to certainly get as many turnovers, but from now scoring off their centre pass.
So Thunder would be really hoping to, great touch there by Lexi Baker. I was just about to say they'd be really hoping to try and score this goal, but Lexi Baker didn't want anything of that. I think at least the Thunder defenders, both Catling and Allen, are at least contesting the ball and having a go, different to what Lee Jones and Serafina Wolf were doing earlier in the game, and were rewarded almost with a turnover.
Yes.
They did everything right then, except get the ball back.
And pushes that gap out to 9 with the centre pass and time for Tigers to add to it. Just a little bit too much on that ball, I think, for Lexi Baker, but just plenty of time for Thunder to get the ball down. Let's see what defence work is going to make that task difficult.
Great contest there by Alana Schuster.
That was good patience from the feed and found Ali Bird quite comfortably.
So Thunder have another opportunity here to score. There's still quite a lot of time.
Yes, when a goal or from a centre pass can be scored, I think, in about 5 or 6 seconds, there's plenty of time. And the important thing is that goal counted, and that brings the gap to 7. 41 to Tigers, 34 to Thunder.
So the Tigers were able to push away a little bit, obviously, in that in this last quarter. But again, I think the frustration in the Thunder camp would be that they had lots of opportunity. So 15 minutes to go, Lee. What do you think?
No, we won't. So welcome back to the fourth quarter of the HART Sapphire series, the game between Carina Tigers and USC Thunder. Tigers leading 41-34, and a bit of a big hill to climb, I feel, on what we've seen so far from the Thunder. What do you think, Sim?
Yeah, look, I agree. I think the Thunder have had opportunities, but I think they're going to. This is the quarter that they need to absolutely make the most of it. They're going to need to win ball back, which they probably haven't done enough. They showed, particularly in that first half when their shooters were shooting at 100%, that if they get it to them, that they'll reward them with the goal. However, we'll see what they do here. They've changed up their defence end. They've moved Sienna Allen out to goal defence and brought Annika Leah-Jones back on to goalkeeper. So they're quite tall defence ends. So we'll see how the Tigers respond to that.
And, good positioning by Cara Conan. They'll just have to get more ball to her. But a contact ruled on the Thunder goal defence will enable the ball to get relatively easily into that circle. Nice up to go back by Amy Somerville. Just adding another nail to the coffin.
Yes. So I think we've seen most of the Thunder players on the bench take the court tonight. Which is a great addition of the Sapphire series, is that we have the rolling subs rule.
And we have a timeout, but neither of the teams have utilised it. It's probably something coaches would have to kind of experiment a little with.
Yeah, definitely. I think having worked with the Queensland Fusion this year with the ANL and having the rolling subs rule, it's actually something that the coaches also have to get used to as well as the players. So it'd be interesting to see if either one of the coaches choose to use that rule in this last bit of the game.
So replayed call, which turns out, hard-earned ball over. Probably doesn't help Thunder's cause.
Not at all.
But some good speed and footwork shown by Thunder, but probably just not quite in the right position, goal defence, to shut that ball down to Amy Somerville. Good quick play, good quick hands.
So the Tigers are pulling away a little bit now in the game.
But that was better centre pass defence from, good persistence or patience rather from the Thunder. But just struggling to really find quick options. So probably earlier preparation needed by the attacking team.
Contact call there against Lily Gribble. Lily played for the Queensland 17s and unders this year and was rewarded with Australian selection. And
has that camp taken place for the 17s and under national camp?
It took place earlier in June, actually, down at the Australian Institute of Sport down in Canberra. So we had 5 Queenslanders there and Lily was one of them.
So what happens next for those players when they've attended a camp like that?
So usually those players then go into the elite development program as that Netball Queensland offers. So they've been identified now in the Netball Australia pathway, and they'll undertake work with the EDP coach, which is Jenny Brazel, the assistant coach for the Queensland Firebirds. Great play there by Thunder, much better than what we've seen. More
decisive, wasn't it? And that just confidence to let the ball go. It's funny how the game of netball can fluctuate, very much. One moment it's looking great and then you think, well, where did that go to?
Yes, definitely.
But arguably the defence have picked up on it and they've shut it down. So another opportunity for Thunder.
It's a great defence there by Sienna Allen. I think Amy Somerville will argue that she tipped it out, but the lady in white, or the umpire in white, has the final say and has given the ball to Thunder. So hopefully they're able to make the most of this opportunity. See Josephine Hungerford back on for Thunder in the wing attack position.
And that was a good contest from Schuster, just really pressure, even though there was a contact involved. It was good to see a contest. Okay, come on, Thunder. We want to see more of this play.
That. Yes.
Because really they can close the gap. Even though there's 8 in it, there's still plenty of time.
Definitely.
Just have to be very wary of putting it over tall arms. And nice shot from Abby
Latu Mifau, yes.
Latu Mifau.
Yes, it's hard, those double banger names, but...
Apologies, Abby.
Interesting to see how the Tigers respond here. So they've got it back to 7. I think the experience in their team, I think, says that they'll take those percentage plays and get it to goal. But in saying that, I think the Thunder need to realise that they do have the opportunity to. It's only really 4 turnovers and scoring their own centre passes, which I think they've probably got the turnover count during the course of this game. They've just not been able to nail their centre passes.
Good defence work from Tigers. Centre
Jackie Russell.
Yeah, showing her experience there. Just played slightly off the receiver and forced the long ball, but an offside call? No?
Oh, no. Looked like it, but the umpires caught it back to...
offside in the centre, in the goal circle.
In the goal circle.
And quick hands, good thinking from Tigers.
Shot there by Lexi Baker. Tigers back out to 9.
And losing that opportunity to score off their own centre pass. And Amy Somerville makes no mistake in just growing that gap. 10 goals now in it. The other thing that, so often signals whether a team is going to catch up is the speed in which they can score, and Tigers are doing quite a nice job in slowing down Thunder's scoring.
Definitely.
Just some good defence.
It's a better build-up. Shot there by Kara. Brings it back to 9. The Thunder probably need a few turnovers, though, if they want to make a serious attempt at trying to bring this game back. I think now time's not on their side either.
And a nice split in the circle, but the missed shot gives Thunder the opportunity to have a crack. But they'll need to get that ball away faster. Let's have a quick release. I often in a coaching setting practice where rather than a 3-second held ball, make it a 2-second, and that really forces the players to release quickly and therefore the options available quickly.
Definitely.
So just creating those scenarios to challenge up and put pressure on the team so when they get into game settings they can handle it.
Yes. Unfortunately, Thunder's not been successful in making the most of that opportunity. I think for their defenders who are winning the ball back, frustration may creep in soon if their attackers aren't able to score for them.
And that was actually an opportunity for the goalkeeper to have a go at there. It was sort of not probably one step away.
Yes. Just
keeping a head up and keep being hungry is what young defence need to consider. Bit of housework needed.
Yeah. Katie Walker lying down on the job. No call for offside. So again, the Thunder get another opportunity. And
must
unfortunately
have been a contact
call.
So if you looked at the possession, you'd have to say, the Thunder have had their chances.
Definitely.
Just not really converting or getting it down close enough to the circle.
Not sure what Jackie Russell did there. It was quite an interesting delivery, but Lexi Baker was able to clean up those scraps and maintain possession.
So we've got our first time out called by Thunder by the looks. So what would you say if you were Gary Passion as the coach?
I think I'd be putting it
Chris
on
Vogue.
Or Chris Vogue, yes. I think I'd be putting it on my attackers to actually get the ball to goal and put it in the hoop. I think they've had more than enough opportunities, at least in this first bit of the quarter, to peg the score back. And I think by applying that scoreboard pressure then puts the pressure back on the Tigers. I think, unlike what we saw earlier in the game from the Thunder defenders, they've actually been able to turn the ball over a bit more in this later stage of the game.
Yes, they have. And now we see Amanda Kelly on screen, the assistant coach for Tracy Bruce. So a good chance for her, Amanda, to step up and experience this level, and ably supported by
Amanda Sheaf.
Amanda Sheaf is stepping in as assistant. Yeah. And Amanda has been in the head coaching role up to a couple of years ago when she has taken a break for family.
Yes.
So I'm sure Amanda would really value the other Amandas.
Absolutely, definitely. It's great to see Amanda Kelly in the head coaching role. She's been in, with the club for many years. So again, a great opportunity, like you said, for her to step up and coach, take on the head coaching role in this game tonight.
So let's see if the coach's words have had an effect.
So we've seen some changes. We see Chloe Litherland back on for centre for the Thunder. That was a much better build-up. So obviously they've taken on Gary and Chris's advice. Serafina Wolf is back on again at goal defence. And
some persistence paid off. So a chance for Thunder to get that ball back down the court. Much quicker releasing. That's what I like to see.
Definitely.
Let's see what structures these shooters can take advantage of. So 2 in a row.
2 in a row,
and the next centre pass as well. So a bit of a tall ask, but anything can happen if they keep scoring quickly.
Definitely. And I think the Thunder team definitely have the capability. Whether they've got the time, they may have liked to have started this comeback a little earlier in the quarter, but nevertheless, they're having a go.
And heartening for the coach of the Thunder to sort of consider that break was a good one. It caused a change in the play and a little more urgency, a little more desire from the Thunder.
Definitely. And we see Maddie Grant on at goal attack for the Tigers, replacing Lexi Baker.
So Maddie Grant's a young up-and-coming player?
Maddie Grant is a young up-and-coming player, originally from the sunny coast, but down here in Brisbane for uni, I believe. Was part of the 19s and under squad, but had to withdraw due to injury. But again, another great Queensland product, and great to see her out on the Sapphire court.
Whoops. A little bit of housekeeping might be needed. Those bodies are rolling around on the floor. Well done. Great to see that long shot. Here we go.
Here we go. The ball girls was looking to the crowd, but she's realised she's required. Yes, I think that is, again, a strength of Amy Somerville, that she's prepared to shoot from anywhere, which is great as a shooter.
Well, I'm liking the structure of the Thunder's centre pass. The phases are looking a lot better.
Definitely.
A lot quicker. I just need to do that more often and get some turnover ball here. Nice splitting the circle by the Tigers' attack.
Yeah. I think the Thunder defenders again are doing a great job and are rewarded with that turnover.
Yeah, that movement around the front by Serafina Wolf has really caused a little bit of indecision or overcooking it by the feeder.
Definitely.
A nice length through court and just keep that momentum going. They need to keep that speed up and keep the options. Quick release, well taken, Karakonen. Movement into the ball made the difference here.
Definitely. Great rebound there by Kara.
It's a good tidy up, and they've got the next centre pass. So I think the clock will weaken them, but they'd have to be encouraged by this probably last 5 minutes performance.
Definitely. And again, Kara returning to the Thunder, obviously has been on the court for the Sunshine Coast Lightning, although she's got good history with the centre court. Both Chloe and Josie and herself have played underage for Queensland before, but again, probably just needing to refine those connections. And those players that are returning from the Suncorp Super Netball will be with their Sapphire clubs for the next 4 weeks, I believe, Lee.
Yeah, and what a great learning for the players around them. And it'll take adjustment, because coming back into a different tempo is not an immediate adjustment that happens.
Yes. Players
have got to, obviously learn the different timing, the release of the ball, the speed of the ball, how the defenders work, are marking them. So maybe a little bit of settling in time there needed.
Definitely. We're coming down to the last almost 30 seconds of the game.
And some good patience from Katie Walker and circle edge positioning.
And a great tap back there by Maddie Grant to get the ball back to Amy Somerville to have another shot.
So that's a little bit of a flicker, I call it, from Thunder. Didn't last too long, but certainly something that the team will want to build on and take the learnings from, moving forward into this round 3 of this competition.
Yes, definitely. I think Gary will be looking for them to put those. They've had moments through the game when they've been able to, get some great connections and ball. I think Gary will be looking for them to string a few more of those together. So the final wash-up, 54 to Tigers, 47 to Thunder, and probably a game from both teams not quite at their best. Some glimmers, and clearly Tigers perhaps putting together more passages of play that were more lethal. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So a number of combinations too tried out by both sides. I guess it's still finding what their top 7 might be, or certainly within the rules of the game you're going to get a lot of changes. Yeah, definitely, and I think the rolling subs add that different dimension to the game. It allows for a few more changes at different times, which is different to what we've experienced in the past. And it's something that players and coaches really, it's, if you like, the way of the world, so they need to be able to manage that and take it to an advantage for them. So is that 2 in a row for Tigers? Or no, that's 1. So that's 1 from 2. They were they lost last week to the Jets, Ipswich Jets, and the Thunder won last week. So they're both 1 from 2 now. So looking like it could be a reasonably even competition. Okay, so we're signing off from the first game of the evening at this Queensland State Netball Centre. Thank you, Sim. We'll look forward to joining you in the commentary for our next game, which will be the Brisbane North Cougars versus the Ipswich Jets. Thank you. I'm glad you're filling in the gaps that I'm leaving. Great. live streaming tonight from the Queensland State Netball Centre for round 2 of the HART Sapphire series. We have the Brisbane North Cougars taking on the Ipswich Jets in what proves to be potentially the match of the round. Cougars coming off a draw from last week and the Ipswich Jets coming off a win. I'm joined in commentary tonight by Silverfern great Lee Gibbs. Hi Lee, how are you going tonight?
Hi Sim, I'm good. I'm really looking forward to seeing Cougars perennial winners of the earlier versions of this competition, the State League. So they've got some really young up-and-coming talent in their line. And Jets who have started the competition really well with the win last week.
Yes, definitely. And both teams tonight have players returning from the Suncorp Super Netball. So for the Brisbane North Cougars tonight, we have Tara Hinchcliffe returning to her club team, as well as Laura Clemiciat playing for the Ipswich Jets. If we look at the competition ladder here, we see that the QUT Wildcats are out or on top of the ladder with 12 points, followed by tonight's winners. 27 points. They've got 12 bonus points.
So what listeners and watchers may not realise is there's 10 points up for grabs for a win. So, you know, quite a big attraction to get ahead on the points at the end of the game, because 10 points is really impressive. And then a bit like on the back of Suncorp Supernet, some quarter bonuses if you win then.
Definitely. So I think we see the Wildcats on top after a draw and a win after the weekend's round. They were the first match of the round, but like we said, we're on the third match now with the Brisbane North Cougars and the Ipswich Jets. Who do you think will be the key players for the Cougars tonight as we look at their team?
Well, I really have been enjoying watching Tara Hinchcliffe through the Suncorp Supernet, and she will be someone whom I'll be interested to see how she fits into this level. And some young players, and Macy Gardner and Mia Stour, who are coming out of the A&L competition. So those are the Cougar eye catchers for me. Yeah, and what about you for Jets?
Yeah, look, for Jets, I think it'll be great to see how Laura Clemiciat goes in this group. Leah Woolnow is another up-and-coming young Queensland product, as well as Rosie Baker, who joins the club in her first year, but from all accounts had a great game last week, so it'll be great to see her tonight up against the Cougars defence line to see how she goes. We have the starting line for the Brisbane North Cougars tonight at goal shooter Riley Holland, with Binion Hunt at goal attack, Macy Gardner on at wing attack with Chanel Dyer in the centre, Maddie Hinchcliffe on at wing defence, Ruby Bakewell-Doran at goal defence, and Tara Hinchcliffe on at goalkeeper. Reserves are Mia Stour, Ali McLeod and Remy Camo. Coached by Elizabeth White.
And just looking at the Jets bibbing up, and starting for Jets at goal shooter Lucinda Benjamin, goal attack Rosie Baker, wing attack Brooke Hams, centre Stephanie O'Brien, wing defence Leah Woolnow, Siobhan Shirley at goal defence, and Bridie Condren goalkeep. Subs Charlie Bell, Michaeli Hock and Laura Clemiciat, with coach Tracy Jeans-Fraser.
First up, the Jets.
So pretty experienced line for the Jets, and in the higher the competition, in my experience, is the age and the experience on court makes a difference. And then you have the mix with the youngsters who provide the spark and the energy. So it'll be interesting to see how those sort of elements combine for the Jets tonight.
Definitely. Likewise, the Cougars have a lot of experience, and also, a lot of players that have played together for many years, but they also have addition of some youth in Macy Gardner and Mia Stour, as well as Ali McLeod. It's great to see her in the Sapphire team this year.
So Binion Hunt is a young player who's had a little bit injury challenge over the years since I've been in Queensland, but she impressed me. I remember seeing her play maybe last year, just her sort of speed and agility.
Yes, definitely. Binion is a training partner for the Sunshine Coast Lightning, but definitely has great speed and agility, and also is quite body strong for a goal attack, which is fantastic. Just adds another dimension to the game. And we have Laura Clemishier actually in the keeping role to start with, which is probably no surprise. It was more surprising that she was going to start on the bench, really.
Yes, and some good length and quick release from the Jets to get the ball down to their shooting circle. And well rebounded with, that defensive circle, or both defensive circles. Rebounds are going to be hard contests for the shooters if they miss. But, great vision for Lucy Benjamin.
Definitely.
Yes, I called her Lucinda at the start. That's probably what people are less
you a
familiar
little
with.
bit, yes.
And nice position by Macy Gardner to connect there with Binion Hunt. Look, it's starting out, quite impressive. I'm liking the speed in which that ball's getting down the court.
Yeah, definitely. I think we can expect that this game will be played at a high pace tonight. Great tip there by Bridie Condren. Bridie's a training partner with the Queensland Firebirds and was able to join the team for their Adelaide clash earlier in the year. So great experience for a young Queenslander to get that opportunity.
And just early connections with Clemishier were showing up, and I'll look to see how that develops throughout this game.
Definitely. Lucy Benjamin then goes for the shot. It's unsuccessful. Scraps are picked up there by Brooke Hams on the edge of the circle. A great lesson really for young centre courts to make sure that they remain on the circle edge until the ball is shot to pick up any of those loose scraps.
So just looking at the umpires tonight, we have Cara Wennerboom and Kim Foreman as the Cara just on camera, is just out of camera shot, and Kim Foreman at the other end. So some pre or early game nerves from the shooting ends. So some crumbs for each team to capitalise on. Nice drive there by Riley Holland, who also is in the Queensland A&L team. Yes.
Riley was a consistent performer in the Queensland Fusion this season. Looks like there was a penalty called there on Binion Hunt. Both teams taking a little while to settle, even though the pace is quite fast. There's been a few turnovers. Scores are still 1-1.
Great placement of that pass from Binion Hunt, just on the offside of the defender. So, and well taken by Riley Holland.
A tip on the shot there by Laura Clemishier, which is a great little trick to have in your back pocket to try and unnerve shooters, especially someone of Riley's calibre. You're going to need every trick in the book to try and put her off her shot tonight. I think the Hinchcliffe parents would be happy that they only have to come to one game tonight. Featuring quite often watching Maddie play for the Queensland Fusion and then starting watching the Queensland Firebirds and then having to watch Maddie. I think great for them, obviously, to have both daughters out on court, but I'm sure they'll enjoy just having to be at one match tonight.
And yes, and debrief one match.
Yes.
But both sets of defence are getting quite a bit of turnover ball for their teams.
Yes, definitely.
Nice shot from Lucy Benjamin. 2-2. So
almost 5 minutes gone.
Some good defence just holding up Cougars' approach to the circle.
Condren pulled out of play then.
That sneaky little
shooter
bounce
to shooter,
pass.
yes, I know.
Those tall defence don't like having to get down for the bounces, and these don't like it. So it's a really good thing to do. Well contested there from Tara Hinchcliffe. she's going to give all sorts of problems to that shooting circle.
Yes, Lucy's going to know that she's played a game tonight, but what great opportunity, like we said before, to get an opportunity to play against some of these Suncorp Super Netball players.
And just watching that hand on the ball, good front positioning. More of that to come, I'm sure.
So a contact call there by Bridie Conran.
Nice confident shot from Riley Holland. Oh, well done.
There by Tara Hinchcliffe.
That shows the experience, I guess, from Suncorp Supernet. Just she was waiting for that, willing it to happen, and it did.
Absolutely.
Good hands from Leah Warno just
to disrupt that and win the ball back.
So I always think it's a risk putting bounce passes near circle edge.
Yes.
Those long arms of the defenders love that ball when it's not passed directly.
Yes, much easier to contest and have a go at than a straight flat ball.
So Chantel Dyer, tell me a little bit about her background. Chanel Dyer,
so Chanel, so Chanel's another Queensland junior. Played underage for Queensland previously. Is now Sunshine Coast Lightning training partner, and played for the Northern Territory Storm this year. Been with the Brisbane North Cougars for many years now. So quite experienced player. And Slee. So the Jets were able to not only win that ball back against the centre pass, but convert, taking them out to 1 point. And Tara Hinchcliffe again able to come up with the steal.
Good, nice through court play and timing by the Cougars.
Yes. Rebound there by Laura Clemicia.
Yeah, she had great pressure over that shot. And then also pick up the rebound is good play.
So the Jets just push out to a 2-goal lead. So we have in this Cougars front line tonight 2 Lightning training partners in Chanel Dyer and Binion Hunt, and 2 Firebirds training partners in Riley Holland and Macy Gardner.
So it'll be look to see how those combinations grow.
Definitely.
Just a little bit of misunderstanding there on part of the Jets.
Trying to get the ball through quickly, but not being able to execute their pass on that last play. Cougars a lot more controlled. Oh, as I say that, they throw the ball away.
And just that defensive pressure, forcing those Cougar attackers up, really worked well for them. Oh, another one begging for an intercept from Tara Hinchcliffe. Be interesting, when opposition sort of have got the better in that setting. I always like to see whether the attackers change up or whether they continue to give the opposition opportunities.
I think on that one being a little bit hesitant with the pass.
Oh, they're getting some good ball, Cougars.
They are, both Hinchcliffe sisters are doing their job. Footwork call.
Yes, otherwise that attacking structure looked good for the Cougars.
Lucy Benjamin on shot again and is able to convert.
She's got a quick release, which, when you've got really good defence who have a good lean, you want to get that shot away quickly.
Leah Woolnough caught out of play then. Nice shot again by Riley Holland. Looks
So our timeout actioned by the Cougars.
First tactical timeout of the game. I believe each team has one per half, Lee, is that correct?
Yes, and it's always interesting. It's usually, when you notice when teams call it, it's around the 3 or 4 goal margin. When one team's starting to creep out, the team that's down are the ones that often call that timeout. Quite a bit of talk happening there in the Cougar circle.
Definitely looks like there may be a substitution as well. We'll see what happens when the teams go back on court. Equally lots of instruction coming from the Ipswich Jets camp.
So we're going to have a uniform change even.
Yeah, wow.
Possibly blood on the uniform. That's often when uniforms have to be changed.
Yes. So that looks like there's definitely a uniform change from the Ipswich Jets, but no changes it seems. We'll see if the Brisbane North Cougars remain the same or whether there's some changes on when they go back onto court.
So the Cougars, probably like a number of the teams, are really just getting their players back out of other competitions. So we'll expect them to take a bit of time to settle in and get the rhythm and timing.
Yes, definitely. We see Mia Stour into the court at goal attack.
So replaces
Binion Hunt.
So Mia will bring some really good attributes to that circle.
Yes, definitely, and I think the connection and combination she has with both Macy Gardner and Riley Holland, all three playing for the Queensland Fusion recently, may be the reason for the change.
Yes, both circle defence and Jets are going to contest everything, so the placement and meeting the ball is going to be vital. The ball placement from the middies needs to be pinpoint accurate.
Definitely. Oh, Jets coming, shooters almost ending up on top of each other, but Rosie Baker there able to put the shot through the hoop to take the Jets out to 4 goals now.
There's some good one-on-one contesting and great change of direction from Laura Kamisha to get a hand on that.
Yeah, great pick up there by Rosie Baker. It's a lot of people and a lot of traffic, but she was able to come through and take that ball to keep possession.
And nice sort of up to go back with a bit of a roll in the mix from the wing attack. Lucy Benjamin's really making good use of that front space. I'd like to see what the counteraction Tara will put into play.
Definitely. I think to their credit, they've been able to adjust because Tara was able to pick up a few balls before the timeout was called. Mia Stour now taking the free pass.
Lovely long shot, and it's a feature of her game too, is she's prepared to shoot from distance.
Yes, definitely. Mia had her first full season with the Queensland Fusion this year after coming off the 19s and under national campaign, and was TID'd in the Australian squad with Macy Gardner. So they're both off to camp at the end of the week, I believe, down to Canberra for 5 days. So lots of netball on their plate over these next few weeks.
And what does their camp involve? What do they, how long is it, and what sort of things would they be covering off in their camp?
Yeah, look, I think it's a 5-day camp, so it's quite a long camp where they'll do on-court and off-court stuff, really looking to prepare for the World Youth Cup. So, Netball Australia getting kind of the group together who may be up for selection for that team.
Which is the Under-21s World Championship?
Yes, in Fiji in 2021. Is that right?
Yes, I think so, because 2017 was the last one, which was held in Botswana.
Yeah.
You're right. And I like to say New Zealand won.
Yes. They've won the last two World
Youth
Cups, haven't they? Yes.
Yes, they have.
It's missed out, not sure where to go.
And Riley Holland, well marked by Laura Clemesha, just no room at all for her. A great deception from, although, having to retake that pass.
The shot, yes. The Jets are out to 4 with 20 seconds to go. It's the Cougars centre pass. They'll be looking to score this to keep it at 3 going into the first break of the game.
Bridie Condren just getting caught being a bit over-eager. A little bit not such a good thing when there's only 2 or a few seconds remaining.
Yes.
Opportunity for the attack to score, which they do.
They do. So they're able to end of the first quarter there with the Jets out to a 3-goal lead. I think the Cougars did well to pull that back because it was out to 6 at one stage.
Look, a bit like the game before, we've seen some potential on both sides. Probably a little more settled this game than the previous, so augurs well for the next 3 quarters. Well, welcome back to the second quarter. That quarter time break brought to us by Coca-Cola Amatil. And while there's a 3-goal difference, what I've seen so far, I really think there's no team dominating at this point.
No, I would agree. I think the Jets were able to obviously convert a few more goals, but I think the Cougars had more than their share of opportunities. So it'll be really good to see what they do now in this next quarter. Doesn't look like there has been a change. As I say that, I take my words back. Macy Gardner's moved into the centre role for the Brisbane North Cougars. And Tara Hinchcliffe's moved out to goal defence, it looks like.
So pretty confident and quick shot put up there by Lucy Benjamin. So a good starting of this quarter and well intercepted by Bridie Condren. So Jets so far have come out of their break looking a lot more determined and reaping the rewards at this point.
Yes, the Cougars are doing a good job to hold the ball up here. Great feed there by Brooke Hams.
Good quick release and good positioning. So it seems to be a bit of a feature of certainly Tara Hinchcliffe's game is that she can sort of transition between goalkeeper and goal defence. Is that something that you think is an important quality in players, being able to play more than one position?
Yeah, look, definitely. I think it's great for from a personal player aspect, because obviously it means that they can be utilised across more than one position in a team, but it also allows the coach to change up her defensive line or her defensive structure, depending on how she chooses to play, or he or she, chooses to play that line. I think the benefit for the Brisbane North Cougars with this line is that you've got both the sisters, so you've got that twin connection there to see, obviously they've got great understanding, to see whether they can just put a little bit more disruption to this Jets line, who at present seem to be getting the ball through quite well.
So that was when the penalised player had a play in that, and I think they've taken it, but to no avail, and good work Cougars have got the ball back.
Yes.
There's some scrappy play happening at the moment. I think sort of both teams are guilty of running on top of each other and not having, some options further down the court.
Yeah, definitely. I think their timing seems to be out on both teams. I mean, they're playing with great pace, but at times it's not necessarily controlled.
So some hesitation by the wing
Chanel,
attack,
yeah,
because she was considering, I believe, the distance in which she has to be between two players. So was reluctant to give the obvious option.
Yes, but didn't have much more on offer, unfortunately, for her.
And well done, Cougars. They did get out of that with a point. And here we see Mia Stour making use of that lovely open circle, but not quite sure, probably a footwork.
Maybe a short, or a short pass.
Offside,
or
I
offside,
think.
Yes.
Yeah, those are sort of errors at this level you want to have a very minimal amount, if any.
Yes.
Just would call them unforced errors, so they're not ones that coaches would be happy around.
No.
Nice quick pass into Riley Holland.
So the Cougars been able to bring the ball back to three, but the score back to three, but great ball then by Brooke Hams, I think it was, into Rosie Baker, who's missed the shot, but it's been regathered by Lucy Benjamin. Shot out of court there, so Cougars have been able to win the ball back twice now. They'll be looking to convert this opportunity and take it to goal. Though Brooke Hams has been able to win the ball back.
So that was a possession called, but good marking by Hams. It just meant by staying on she had a chance to have a go at that ball.
Definitely.
And well finished by Lucy Benjamin.
I think as a coach, you love your attackers to defend. We expect our defenders to attack, so we expect the same of our attackers, and it's great to see them win ball back like that. It takes the pressure off their defenders down in the back line.
So we're just getting penalty pass into Mia Stour, who nails it. Well done.
It's great to see two Toowoomba products in opposition colours. Mia Stour, originally from Toowoomba, and Laura Clemishire, originally from Toowoomba. So again, showcasing the regional talent that we have here in Queensland.
Good quick hands and good composure really from Lucy Benjamin.
Yes, definitely.
So that's good length from Cougars. Let's see how that circle works, and beautiful, good draw by Mia Stowers, creating a lovely open space for Riley Holland.
To get the ball uncontested there, which is how she would like it, I'm sure. It's getting lots of attention from Laura Clemishire.
Gosh, Cougars are certainly getting plenty of opportunity.
Yes. We're looking to... So Jet's doing a good job here to hold up the flow of the Cougars just a little bit.
Nice front cut there from Chanel Dyer.
Bridie Conran's doing a good job to contest, but she's got to try and keep herself in play to not allow those goalers to have an easy shot. I think both her and Laura Clemishire have shown that they can put great pressure over the shot, but they can't do that if they're out of play.
Yes. And learning to adjust to the umpiring calls, they've got to make those changes quick. It was a bold move, but it did pay off. I think
Dyer saw Clemishire's head down, yes.
Fortune favours the brave, so they say.
Indeed. Oh, Cougars have been able to pull it back. They're only one down now, but they've been able to turn the Jets' centre pass over, so they'll be looking to take this one to goal so that they can even up the scores.
And then get the next centre pass. I'm just wondering if Jets may be looking to use their timeout.
Well, they look like they may be bringing on another player. We've got...
Or substituting.
Yes. Steph O'Brien contests the ball really well there, but it's asked to stand out of play.
Well, the umpire's really picking up on the contact, so the players are going to have to adjust.
Yes. So the Cougars have been able to now take the lead for the first time, I think, in this game. Well, certainly in this quarter. Great shot there by Lucy Benjamin. It's great to see her shooting from range.
Just a little bit of, I was going to say good pressure on defence from Jets, but involved the umpire, so gave Cougars another opportunity.
Really
slow pass in really puts that receipt under pressure, but
yes, probably
got there.
Yes, probably needed to have a little bit more speed on it.
Always say a quick game is a good game, but then there's a balance, isn't there?
Yes, definitely.
That ability to mix it up, so not always be at high pace. Variation makes the defence, their job a bit harder.
Definitely. Looks like the Jets have brought on Sherlaw onto goal defence in place of Bridie Condren. So we'll see what she does down in this defensive circle. Jets are in attack though at the moment.
So Sherlaw's been involved at club level or rep level?
I believe she's a Western Districts junior that has come through the ranks.
So talking about junior rep teams, on Saturday the state age starts out at Pine Rivers, so a wonderful breeding ground and experience for young players.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sure many players on the court tonight and umpires as well and coaches have been involved at state age at some capacity during their career. Like you said, a great breeding ground, a great opportunity to play against teams from all over the state.
Yes, and always think for regional teams particularly how valuable it is to come up against a wide open circle, but the accuracy on that pass maybe not quite where it needed to be.
No, Commissioner not able to keep control of it.
A little bit of messy play happening. I think attackers are needing to create the space a bit more. It's well hustled. Mia.
Looks like another tactical timeout has been called.
Yes, I think the Jets this time, understandably, having let go the lead which they had from up to about the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, so 3 minutes to go in the half and only one tactical timeout available to each team. I think it's a smart move by Tracy Jeans-Fraser to regroup her troops and give some instructions so that this lead doesn't blow out anymore. The Cougars, on the other hand, would be very happy that they've been able to make the most of their opportunities and push forward to a 2-goal lead. It was out to 6 at one stage, so to be able to pull that back and be ahead by 2 with 3 minutes to go is great from their perspective.
Yes, and leading into that half-time, it's a good place to be. So just coming back to the state age, this year we've got around 260 teams taking part, and then there's 4 boys teams.
Oh, fantastic.
Which we're delighted with, because we're really wanting to grow that aspect of the competition.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
They will play, they're a mix of ages, so they won't have an age division. They'll be against, or the same 4 in the boys division.
Yes. Well, great. Well, I think in the Cadbury series that was in New Zealand that you'll be very familiar with, we saw the New Zealand men take on the Silver Ferns. So let's hope that one day we see something similar over here in Australia.
Well, it was a great game, and the skill set on both sides was really, really enjoyable to watch. I mean, the bonus of having a 7'2" and I think Junior Levi, who's a Queensland guy, although New Zealand heritage, obviously.
Yes.
Just was such an asset for the men. But I might say that Casey Kulpur and Jane Watson got ball off him.
Yeah, fantastic.
Which was wonderful. And I've just cited there a lovely baseline or goal line run by Lucy to connect with that top of the circle feed.
So we see that the Jets have made a substitution with Hock coming on into centre and Steph O'Brien moving out to the wing attack. So it looks like Hams has left the court. Great win there by Laura Comishia.
Just having a bit of trouble clearing the centre third. So players would like to see some work off the ball done to get into good space, not just running.
Yes. I think they do get a little bit of depth in their play, the Jets. They're able to get it to Lucy quite easily.
And she's been really reliable tonight and really prepared to shoot from distance, which makes it harder defending-wise.
Yes, definitely.
So interestingly, we could arguably say that in both situations, the timeout has worked for both teams, because when Cougars took it, they came back on with a hiss and a roar, and we can see that's happening with Jets.
Yes, definitely. A great advantage that the coach and team has us to be able to call that. Jets have been able to win the ball again. They'll be looking to score from this.
So it'll be interesting when teams reflect and look at what happens after a timeout, how they cope with it. It'll be certainly something to take into the next training, because given that that's an element of the competition, you want to make sure you do the best with it.
Yeah, definitely. And I think Hock coming into the centre has added another dimension to the Jets attacking, because she's quite tall for a centre court, but great to be able to have that option.
Yes, great target too coming through. Well rebounded, just I think caught the attacking team watching, but was able to keep the ball in play. Well done, Cougars. So missed that opportunity to press further ahead.
Cougars will be looking to...
So a little bit of bustle and a copybook roll from Riley Holland. Well done.
Riley's got such great timing and awareness of her space. She doesn't seem to be doing anything and then does something like that, which is fantastic.
Just also well positioned at the front to be an easy target. So Cougars have righted the boat, if so to speak. Had a little bit of gave the dominance to Jets after the break, but came back home to be ahead by 1 goal at half time, which is being brought to us by Victor Sports. Thank you, Victor Sports.
Great, so the teams go to half time now. So we look like the Cougars were dominant in that quarter and won at 16-12 after the Jets had won the first quarter 13-10. What do you think the difference was, Lee, in that quarter by the Cougars?
Well, I think probably less errors. They got the connections going better. There was more flow. I think their circle were able to find space nicely. A little bit of, after the break that Jets took, the timeout, a little bit of change up there, but they settle back down. So I think they benefited from, I guess, the break, the quarter time break, and then the timeout during the early parts of that quarter.
Yeah, definitely.
Jets, one difference, are really in it and have shown potential. What would you do in that leading into the second half?
Yeah, look, I think the Jets found probably their feet a little bit more in that second part of the second quarter. I think the addition of Hock, like we said, changed up that attack line a little bit and just gave them that little bit more height in that attack end to be able to connect with Lucy Benjamin, who has been by far the dominant shooter. I also think that the Jets probably had their opportunities more so, and we see here on the stats that the turnovers are quite even. Probably the only major difference is the goal percentage. The Jets shooting at 93% currently, with the Cougars shooting at 60%.
The turnover conversion, which is really vital, because as we talked about earlier, you get half the centre passes given to you.
Yes,
that's netball's uniqueness. So anything else, you've really got to convert, and clearly Jets have done that well.
Yes, definitely.
What I'm interested in when we compare the two games, similar sort of centre pass conversions, sitting in the 70s, probably a little higher than the previous game. I get a sense that the centre pass on attack for both teams is working quite well. I think they've still got room for improvement, but
yes, definitely. I think what they've shown is when they've been able to get that first ball away quickly and not having both of their attackers over the line, it's helped with that second phase connection. And they've both got such dominant shooters in Riley Holland for the Cougars and Lucy Benjamin for the Ipswich Jets, that it's just making that delivery to them so much easier. I think as we, look, except for the turnover conversion like you identified, everything else is fairly similar. Turnovers are the same.
Shooting percentage probably is a little low for Jets, or is clearly lower than Cougars, so that's an area that they can improve upon.
Definitely.
So lots of talk going on in the Cougars camp.
Yes.
If we could lip read, we might be able to work out something about getting down court fast.
Yes, yeah, definitely. So we have all players in the Sapphire, the HART Sapphire series eligible for the Katie Walker Sapphire, and that goes to the MVP of the season, which is sponsored by Legassic Jewelers. So what a great I suppose, award for the MVP this year, but also great recognition of Katie Walker, who we saw line up for the Carina Tigers Leagues Club in the game previously.
Yes, it's always a well sought after thing being the MVP, and as it's over all these games and the whole season, it's going to be a pretty special player that receives that. Certainly will be a treasured award for them.
Absolutely.
So the team's getting ready to come back on court, and we've seen a change for the Jets, and Charlie Bell coming on to the goal shooting position.
It looks like Lucy Benjamin's moving out to goal attack, so
gosh, that's some tall timber there. Yes. For the attacking end, so I hope they're bringing their step ladders.
Yes.
The Cougars.
It looks like we've got some changes in the back line for the Cougars, with Ruby Bakewell-Doran returning to the goal defence position, and Tara Hinchcliffe moving back to goalkeeper.
Yes, they're quite red-faced. I think we could arguably say they've been working hard.
Yeah, definitely. We always knew that this was going to be a close game, and I think the first half has proven that. So we'll see what these teams are able to do in this next quarter.
So straight away, some good straight line plays through the court, but defence making it difficult for that ball into the circle. However, an obstruction called on Tara Hinchcliffe. And a great rebound from those two. So they did bring their step ladders or their jumping boots.
Definitely, they listened.
Right. Unlucky, that was a great contest.
Great contest by Sherlaw there. Finished by Riley Holland.
Lots of movement on that line pre-centre pass, so the play's gone back, and this is where that ball to circle edge will help Cougars.
Here to swing it around and get Riley Holland out on the baseline. The Cougars have stretched the lead to 3, but it's only early in this third quarter.
Well, that was not a well-placed pass, but good positioning by Hinchcliffe to capitalise.
Yes. Charlie Bell, another young Queensland underage player, also had some time with the Queensland Fusion this year. But we'll have to earn her stripes on the much experienced Tara Hinchcliffe tonight.
Quite a bit of movement taking place in that circle. Keeping it a lot of things for the umpire to keep an eye on.
Yes. Lots to watch.
Oh gosh, things are not going well for the Jets at the moment.
No, they haven't started this quarter particularly well.
Here they get a chance.
Jets able to turn the ball over again. Yeah, it's a Smart feed there by Hawk. Could have gone over to Charlie Bell, but chose to go to the front option in front, which was definitely the better option.
Good driving play from
Macy Gardner.
Macy Gardner, yes, just really being a good option down court. So I think the Jets' defence are going to have to tighten up because that ball's come down too easily.
Definitely.
But as I say, that's some good attacking play by the Jets.
Yeah, great connection there from
Played
Steph
that
O'Brien.
back space to the wing attack.
Contest there by Hawk, but is asked to stand out of play.
Good
Great
feed.
Yeah, patience there by Macy Gardner. Unable to stick the shot there, and Jets have got another opportunity to take it to goal to try and peg this lead back a bit.
Good contesting by Maddie Hinchcliffe.
Yes.
Just would like to see those attackers do a bit more to lose the defence. And the pass placement, I think, important as well. Circle defence making a shorter place hard for them, but nice pass over the top to Riley Holland.
You see Bridie Condren returns for the Ipswich Jets in that goal defence. See if she can add a bit of spark to that defence end to try and stop that ball. Meantime
just
there,
haven't got the flow on, have they, that they had at the start of the game, but well done Lucy Benjamin.
great attempt at a tip there by Tara Hinchcliffe.
All good defence. Just wondering if it might have been a held ball, but
Close, I think, but Steph O'Brien contacted, I think, at the last second. It's unfortunate. Yeah. Riley Holland able to sneak back on court.
Yes.
They're very lucky not to be called for out of court. So the player that leaves court must be landed on court, grounded on
before
court.
they touch, or have 1 foot anyway, before they touch the ball. Nice confident shot from Lucy Benjamin.
I think Lucy's doing a good job out the front there at goal attack. I think lots of attention's being paid to Charlie Bell.
Riley Holland showing a variety of moves, being really comfortable coming out of the circle and then that mixing up along the goal line.
Yes.
Oh, no one at home, but quickly Lucy gets into the circle.
Shot there by Charlie Bell. It's only 4 in it.
It's just little errors that are costly to Jets.
Ball just seems to be getting in a little bit easier down in the Cougars' goal circle compared to the Jets.
Well, there's an option over the top that Leah Warnover thought about but didn't deliver.
Chose not to give it.
And they're making use of Charlie Bell's height nicely.
Better hold from Charlie then to allow Steph Ryan to sight the space and let the ball go.
Oh, contact called by the
Yes,
umpire.
Dower, it looks like, it's been called for the contact. So again, the Jets get another opportunity to peg this lead back by another one. Look.
Oh, good target.
Yeah. Good target there. Charlie Bell taking it strongly and putting it to goal. So
a little bit of a run on from the Jets.
A little bit of a run. They're back to 3. Can they keep possession? No.
But it was out of court. It was ruled.
See. Jets doing a good job to hold the ball up here. But the Cougars equally are patient.
It's just not quite getting the availability of the receiver. It's a bit static, but they managed to get to circle edge, and Riley Holland presents a nice target and finishes off.
Finishes the shot, yes.
So it's getting the next centre pass.
Yes.
Keeps the noses in front.
Great
But
defence there by the Jets, able to
it's a held ball.
held ball. I think as you would expect in the kind of second half of this game, players are starting to become a little bit tired, but this is when they really need to dig in and be a bit smarter with their options. Charlie Bell giving the ball over there by,
Yes.
what's the official term, Lee, when you use the post?
Yeah, using the post.
Using the post.
Unfortunately, it's not allowed. But yes, I think that placement to Charlie was just really not on with the positioning of Tara Hinchliffe. Oh, that was really courageous. Great feed.
Great vision and release by Macy Gardner then.
As they're getting their centre passes away, it's just probably this next stage which isn't as fluid. Had a nice shot from Lucy Benjamin. Certainly it's still anyone's game, but just liking the confidence that Cougars are showing at this stage.
Yeah, the Cougars definitely look like they are in control, even though it is 4.
Well, that was a goodie. That was a goodie for Laura Kamesha.
Yes.
I think it had her name on it.
I think she tried to talk the attacker into thinking that she was
Yes.
coming through, but I think Chanel Dye was up to the task and didn't fall for it. It's like we see Rosie Baker's back on court at goal attack. Thought Lucy Benjamin was doing quite a good job actually out at goal attack, but maybe they've trying to change it up again.
Oops.
It's going to be hard if they throw the ball away like that.
Yeah, they're all down one side of the court, aren't they? I'd just like to see the attackers work the space on the middle or the other side a bit better.
Yeah, use the whole court that they have available. Much easier to defend, isn't it, when they attackers choose to stay in one area of the court?
Yes, definitely. And a nice confident shot there. Still only 4 in it, but neither team are really sort of stamping their mark. I think would like to see that start to happen any time now. Oh, well done. Yeah. Just that reading of that space by Mia Stour was excellent. And Riley Holland really has perfected that holding game.
Yes, definitely.
I think as the player should never anticipate an umpire's call. I think she thought she was going to get
the contact call there.
Good challenge.
Yeah, look, I think Leah Woolno's been in everything tonight. She's been trying to contest and disrupt to give a bit more protection to her circle defenders, but I think the Cougars attack line have been more than up to it as well. Riley Holland's having a great game by being by far the dominant shooter in the Cougars front line.
It's a little over ambitious on that one. But a chance now for Jets to close that gap. There's a few spectators liking the back end or the end on view.
Yeah. Great
well
turnover
done,
there.
Riley Holland. Good to see when shooters do the defence work as well.
Yes, definitely.
And good balance. She's really having a good game tonight.
She is having a
some
good
more
game.
experience, and as we are talking, we get a change at centre for Jets.
So it looks like Brooke Hams returns to the court. And Lucy Benjamin looks like she's back on as well, back at goal shooter, replacing Charlie Bell.
Just in time, did a nice dodge and got the shot. Timing is everything. A little bit of clutter, but a nice open pocket space for the wing attack. Oh, they're going from side to side.
Yes, they are.
A little bit of pirouette and the ball's in her hands.
And Riley Holland saves the day again. Gets the ball and puts it to shot. So the lead's jumped out to 7 now. And then the Jets just fortunately throw the ball away again.
Yes, they've become kind of a bit disconnected. They're not really playing as a team, and just the error rate's creeping in.
Yeah. When they started particularly well, the Jets, they were up in that first quarter, but it looks like they've lost their way just a little bit. Saying that though, we've still got another quarter to go, but they wouldn't want the lead to get out any more than what it already is.
Whoa. They're asking a lot of Riley Holland today.
They are asking, she's delivering, so doesn't necessarily put them off keeping asking her that question, but yes.
So really starting to dominate. Starting to involve the umpire too, which isn't going to help.
No, it won't help their cause at all. It's only 20 seconds to go in this third quarter. Great play there by the Jets.
And a good speed and also length on that play.
10 seconds, more than enough time to get the ball to goal if they go direct. They want to hurry though. Oh,
and
great. That was a great ball and equally great shot and take by Lucy Benjamin.
Yes, really played that time down to the zero very well. But probably Jets lost their way a bit in that quarter. Disappointing when they had such a good start, but still time for them to make amends.
Definitely, they were able to pull it back to 6, so I think they'll be happy with that, but like you said, disappointed that they did lose their way a little bit. Just makes that task now even bigger. So we see that the Cougars were dominant as we saw, 17-12 quarter. The Jets will want to start this next quarter though strongly to try and bridge that gap and push through if they want to be in contention for the win.
And I think if they can just really lower those errors, the error rate, because they've got pretty reliable shooters, can get that ball in, but really need to cut down the errors, the turnovers.
Definitely. It's like lots of instruction now from Liz White down to her back line, the Hinchcliffe sisters and Ruby Bakewell-Doran. They all did a great job in putting lots of pressure on that Jets front line and winning lots of ball back.
So Binion Hunt looks like she may be reappearing.
Yeah, potentially reappearing the goal attack position.
Tracy Jeans-Fraser, very animated in her coaching. Lots of things I'm sure that she'll be wanting her players to change up in this last quarter.
So we see the start of the fourth quarter here with the Brisbane North Cougars up 43 to the Ipswich Jets 37. I'm not sure what happened on that centre pass. It looked like it was a delayed or...
No, missed that
Anyway,
one.
it was advanced, so the Cougars are able to score off their first centre pass. The Jets are now in possession.
And that's some better intensity from Baker.
Like to see Baker just go to the post.
Needed to put
though.
that shot
Yeah.
up. Just don't give any opportunities like that to the defence.
Definitely. With the experienced defenders of both Hinchcliffe and Ruby Bakewell Doran, it's fairly evident that Lucy Benjamin is the dominant shooter. So
And held ball called on Riley Holland, so good pressure over the ball from Laura Kamisha.
great
Nice.
quick ball there.
Yes, good length. So a little bit of intensity have come into both teams, but some good 0.9 or hands over ball won it back for the Cougars.
Yeah, the Jets have had 2 opportunities to score so far and have not been able to take them, which will disappoint their coach, Tracy Jeans-Fraser, especially when they're down and they're trying to...
Great circle play there, good triangle in order, in use.
Shot there by Mia Stour. Doesn't seem like she's taken a shot for a while, but Riley Holland has by far been their dominant shooter, but great to see Mia take that shot.
Some good circle positioning and but unlucky there, I thought. It looked from here as if Laura Kamisha had got that rebound, but it wasn't at ground level, so
No.
not in the right place.
So the Jets will want to really convert this centre pass. They've had opportunities already and then they throw it away. Oh, stepping footwork called there. Lucky for the Jets, unlucky for the Cougars. They seem a bit rushed in their play, Jets. I think...
Yes, they probably recognise the need to up the ante, but it comes with a price.
yeah, and they still need to execute. So out to 8 now.
Yes, and great length on the ball from Cougars.
Really good touch there by Leah Warno. Able to win the ball back for her team and give them an opportunity to take it to goal. Pressured pass there by Rosie Baker. Chose to go to the player with the most players around her.
Right, an important goal from Lucy Benjamin. Narrows it by 1, and the centre pass could see this gap close even further. And I like what I'm seeing there. And let's see the finish with a good goal. Well done.
Yes.
So it's being able to string some of that play together will be what Jets are looking for.
Yeah, definitely.
Some good defensive ball work by Bridie Condren. Just got a little over-eager.
Yes.
And probably with a shooter like Riley Holland, you don't want to give her free shots at goal.
No, definitely not.
Good circle edge positioning
Yeah.
and nice drive into the circle.
Much better drive and great
Yeah.
shot by Rosie Baker, another regional player originally from Townsville. Been in Brisbane for a few years now. Great to see she learnt the lesson from before, trying to pass to Lucy, willing to take the goal. Cougars in possession now.
Yes, a little more urgency here happening, but to no avail. I think Cougars kept their composure.
Yeah, get the ball to their go-to girl, which is Riley Holland at the moment, and she'll put
Oh,
it
well
away.
done. Good length and good vision. need a few more turnovers and play like that, and they could be back in this game.
Yeah, definitely. Still plenty of time. Only 6 goals.
Oh, great drive onto that.
Drive and take under pressure by Riley. Puts it through the goal again.
Kind of the shooters and both teams are really starting to step up and dominate.
Yes, definitely.
Good contest.
Great contest there by Bridie.
Oh, just well defended on that transverse line.
Yeah, really smart ball there by Steph O'Brien. Could have gone over, but asked Lucy Benjamin to come forward, knowing what Tara Hinchcliffe can do. It's like another tactical timeout called by the Cougars.
Yes, I think the sense of Jets getting a bit of a run on, it was probably a good time for this. It'll be good to observe how either team comes out of it, because it's now in the really important part of the game.
Yes. What do you think the Jets did differently then?
I felt their attacking attackers were more urgent, they were more definite, and the ball was able to be released with speed.
Yeah, definitely. I think they were much more direct,
yes,
as opposed to what they had been previously, which just made it harder for the Cougars to defend. They had to look after their own, which is something that they hadn't had to do before.
So and just the defensive work put pressure on, like we saw that last example on that transverse line. So Jets defending in every setting, not just leaving it for the players with D on their bibs.
Yes. And being able to pick up the scraps when they were able to get a tip. So they've done a great job to pull it back to 5, but it's not over yet, and there's still 8 minutes to go.
Who's got the most desire will
Yes.
be interesting to watch. Yeah. Oh. And passing into 2 defence.
Yeah, stepping
is
around.
Probably not the way to go.
No, not at all. Not how the Jets would have liked to have started. After coming back from their timeout.
It's a contact call on Jet Centre. Not quite
Misunderstanding there, yeah.
Yeah, the right timing on that. That move done a little earlier might have worked.
The Jets were lucky to get the ball back. Oh,
Just that stepping onto 1 foot is costly. It doesn't give the passing options much security. So you can see both teams really upping the ante. Good speed from Cougars.
the Cougars will be looking for the win tonight, having come off a draw from last week, and the Jets will be looking to go 2 from 2, having won their first contest. But at the moment, the Cougars do look to be the team that's in control just a little bit more.
Yes, and I think they're sort of capitalising on just the quick play, as we saw there, and Riley Holland's variety and availability.
Definitely. She's definitely made Laura Clemishia have to kind of do her job and look after her, and hasn't allowed her to come out and have a go at the ball in front. Whoop.
It's a bit of messy play, but Cougars still get a second chance. or third chance actually.
Good chart. Great feed there by Chanel Dyer.
Yeah, pretty courageous, putting it over those defence. But just when we were seeing Jets previously getting a bit of length and getting a bit of speed up, they've resorted or gone back into shorter play.
Yes.
But hesitant with their passing.
Yes, which is sometimes a trap you can fall into when you've thrown the ball away a couple of times. However, they just need to try and go back to the things that do work for them, and that is that fast direct play. Great shot there by Lucy Benjamin.
Yeah, and how she really drove that, or really moved around in front nicely. Just being decisive makes a huge difference. That applies both on attack and defence. It's when they get caught half-baked, so to speak, it is open for error. A little bit of close for comfort under the post, but it didn't matter. Mia Stowe was up to the task. That's better. Nice strong drive out. And if Lucy Benjamin had turned and looked into the circle, I'm sure she would have seen her goal attack about to come free.
Yeah, well read by Tara Hinchcliffe there.
Gosh, really good footwork from Riley. Just didn't take up, didn't have to move too far from the post, but was able to lose Laura Kamisha. Oh, well done. Good variety. Good to see the variation of goal shooter coming out and goal attack driving in.
And great vision there by Chanel Dyer to look long and be able to find Mia in the circle.
Gosh, the hands over ball is really working in favour of Cougars, but the hesitation that Jets are showing on their release, is it playing into their hands?
Yes.
Well, at this point in time, it's looking all red.
Yeah.
Just a lot more confidence, a lot more options open.
Gotten the lead out to 10 now, and saying that, Laura Commissia decides,
So we've got an offside call, I suspect. Oh, that's a shame. There's a good confidence shot. 10 goals now, a big ask.
with 3 minutes to go. Great.
And especially when you've got goalkeepers who are hungry like that. Well done.
Tara Hinchcliffe, fantastic to see her come out. We've seen her do it for the Queensland Firebirds this year, so
a little bit of good fortune for Jets. I think the umpire was unsighted on that one, but let's see what they can do with that. Good rebound and goal from Lucy Benjamin.
You see Ali McLeod take the court for the first time tonight. Ali McLeod's in at centre, sorry. She's replaced Macy Gardner in at centre. Ali's been at the Brisbane North Cougars for a few years, but again is originally a Townsville product. So again, we get to see some great, great examples of our regional players from Toowoomba and Townsville on the court tonight, representing their various clubs.
Gosh, things are really falling apart for Jets.
Yeah, the wheels have really fallen off for them. They had a cracking start and won the first quarter, but have not been able to maintain that form through the rest of the match. Saying that, they've been in this match probably up until the last 5 to 8 minutes. At 8 minutes, when the Cougars called the tactical timeout, they were more than in it, but I think everything's fallen at the wayside, unfortunately, for them.
Yeah, and probably on what we've seen from teams coming back after that timeout, Cougars have managed it best.
Yes.
So the coaches will be really pleased.
tap there by me.
Give her a second chance.
Yeah.
It was like, no, you shoot it.
Yeah. Yeah. Why stop now, Riley? You've shot all night.
Good circle edge positioning, and how often does it pay dividends when you get the feeders on the circle?
Yeah,
And then
definitely.
a nice little play along the goal line to boot. Umpire playing advantage outside the circle, but called the contact inside on that one, next pass.
Great shot there from Miestawa, long range.
Gosh, and how quickly that's gone into double figures, that score difference.
Yeah.
And Jets would have to be disappointed with how this game has played out, but well done, Cougars.
Well done, Cougars, and well done, Michaeli Hock there for taking that intercept.
So only a few seconds, which will give, hopefully, a goal to Jets to finish on. And the final score, a convincing win in the end to Cougars, 60, Jets 49. So really were there for the long game, weren't they, the Cougars? And Jets would have a little bit of work to do in making sure they stay for the full hour.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think disappointing for the Jets there is that, again, their fourth quarter score was 17-12, so definitely their second half. You know, they let the Cougars get to that 10-point lead, which in the end is what they, you know, what they were able to win by. But I think they'd like those margins to be closer in each of the quarters, similar to the way that they started that first quarter.
Yeah, so round two has sort of, I guess, starting to show a little bit of a glimmer of the who's likely. Certainly, given that Cougars drew their first game, they would have to be pleased with such a convincing win in round two. But both teams really showing there's plenty more that they can do.
Definitely, definitely.
So
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Sim, tonight for co-sharing this commentary of the HART Sapphire Series round two, and look forward to our next lot of games, which are
Next weekend.
this coming weekend.
Weekend,
So
yeah.
busy weekend of netball.
Yeah, great. Yeah, thanks, Lee. It's been great to watch the two games tonight and commentate alongside you. I think we saw across both games tonight that the competition is quite even. There's lots of wins and losses. You know, most teams I think come off either a win or a loss or a draw or a loss. So the competition is quite even. It may come down to those bonus points that teams are able to acquire across a game. Cougars were able to get 3 tonight. Jets 1. And like you were saying, there's 10 points up available for a win. So I think if it's
a
not
massive advantage.
Absolutely. So it's important to win the game, but it's also important to win quarters through the match, because that can ultimately affect your positioning and in the final standings at the end of the season.
So just having a look at the numbers, probably what jumps out and saw in that scoreline, how much more the centre pass conversion increased for the Cougars. I think they were in the 70s, but it really dominated, particularly the latter ends of that game.
Yes, definitely. I think the shooting percentages across both teams were quite high at 86 for the Cougars and 84 for the Jets, but definitely the centre pass conversions, 10% more by the Cougars, like you said, and ultimately they won by 11 goals in the end. I think otherwise it was quite even. Like we said, the Cougars won 3 of the 4 quarters, so they'll have the lion's share of those points after this game tonight.
And just the wrap up of round 2, we've seen some quite big score lines. 66-32 Wildcats over Rays, 54-47 Tigers over Thunder, and 60-49 Cougars over the Jets. So probably starting to show the where teams are likely to finish, but quite a big, not such a big lead as the 10-point win you get for a win has shown. Cougars creeping up very quickly.
Yes, well, both the Wildcats and the Cougars are at first and second, and both they drew last week's game against each other. So I think those, that's kind of those points in the ladder are reflective of that. And the Jets, the Carina Leeds Club Tigers, and the University of Sunshine Coast Thunder sitting in third position, equal 18 points.
So look forward to more of exciting netball in the HART Sapphire series coming to you again on Saturday.
Thank you.
Sunday.
Thank you. Good night.